Hello, everyone. So, it has been a massive week for news. So, I figure let's just go ahead and jump straight into it because we have everything from SDCC 2025 to talk about. But, let's start off with a sighting. We're starting to find the new Alpha Bravo series Mirage. This is the Authentics Mirage. And he looks interesting. I'd actually like to see a video on this guy because, especially for the Authentics, his paint is really good. Like, his arm looks a little bit weedy, but other than that, this just looks like a really solid kind of Voyager-ish size Mirage. So, yeah, I'm interested. Third Party had a little bit of showing this week. So, for one thing, DNA Design is showing off their upgrade kits for Sentinel Prime. You can see we're going to get more movie-accurate wings, which is incredible. Also, a better sword, a better shield. But here's my favorite part. They've added his guts. So if you want, you can pose Megatron ripping him in half. I might go in for this kit because I love Sentinel Prime from Transformers 1, and I would like a more accurate Sentinel Prime. But then again, I really like my normal Sentinel Prime. I might buy a second Sentinel Prime to put on this DNA kit. Why not? And also, we've seen the Kang Toys Generations scale Snarl. We've already seen this design at Legend scale and Masterpiece scale. They're just revealing the Generation scale now. So, if you like Kang but want them in a more kind of Voyager-ish size, this might be the Snarl for you. Official reveals. And there are a ton. So, I want to start off with the things that aren't new. So, we have confirmation about Walmart Retro Brawn. This is Brawn with more toy-accurate colors and the head. I've already said my piece. The toy looks cool. I still wish that he had the proper, proportions. Just look behind him. They're showing you what the toy design was with the long legs and the claw arms. That's what I want a toy of. I want a toy of that weird design. This just feels like a normal Brawn with a cool head. Also, the Hot Wheels Transformers. For anyone who didn't catch it, I did a big live stream with a lot of other Transformers content creators. I was with Dr. Lockdown, Dumb Jake, MRC, Bots Obsession, just a ton of people. And it might have been kind of hard to figure out what I was saying because, hey, you get 10 Transformers fans in a room and show them reveals. It's going to get crazy real quick. If you go on MRC's channel, I'll link it below, but if you go on MRC's channel, you can actually see me and MRC and Bots Obsession just go through each of these by ourselves and have a little bit more time with each of them. Because if you watch the reveal stream, I made a joke during the stream that it felt like the G.I. Joe team was tapping on their wristwatch, we're supposed to have the room at 9:30, assholes, get out! And it was crazy. They were going through these toys as quickly as they could. It was almost like the venue wanted to shut down. So it was hard to digest it when we had everyone there. I really was a bigger fan when it was just the three of us going through and we could each kind of focus on each toy. But now you're going to get my individual thoughts. So we're getting a better look at the Hot Wheels Transformers, Twin Mill, and Bone Shaker. Bone Shaker I think looks cool. His proportions remind me a lot of Beast Machine's Blast Charge, especially wheels on shoulders and kind of how the weediness of the arms and the legs look, but still really solid. Twin Mill is who I'm way more excited for, the blue one, because Twin Mill is going to be the best Blur ever when he comes out. And just to be clear, I'm not saying that I think this is going to be a Blur retool. What I'm saying is, look at that. That's just a really good new version of Blur. And he has all kinds of Blur details. He has the mouth guard over his brow that looks kind of like Armada Blur. He has the shoulders of Armada Blur. He has the colors of Robots in Disguise Blur. He has the energy of IDW Blur. He even has a little bit of facial hair, it looks like. So that's a little bit of Shattered Glass Blur. I like this toy a lot. And they're going for only $30, which is just a little bit more expensive than a deluxe currently. And from what I understand, $30 is just going to become the price of deluxes here in the next few months. So for deluxe price points, I think you're getting a ton with both of these. Twin Mill is who I'm going for, though. These guys just suck. Master of the Universe is doing a collaboration with Transformers, and I really don't like either one of these. Skeletor Megatron kind of works. But my issue with this is the lower body is completely uncovered, which makes the upper body look way too puffy. And I made the joke, it looks like Skeletor and Evil Lyn went to BotCon, but the costume got destroyed on the plane ride over. So they just grabbed whatever boxes they could find, and Evil Lyn quickly sprayed him down with silver paint. As for Man-at-Arms Bumblebee, it breaks my heart because this is actually a cool design, but Man-at-Arms and Bumblebee have nothing to do with each other. Aside from best friend to the main character, I guess, that's super weak, though. Man-at-Arms should have been connected with Ironhide, or Wheeljack, or Bulkhead, or Ratchet. Literally any one of the older soldiers that are also kind of smart. Brawn, even. But Bumblebee, that's a bad character connection. So it sucks. The good character connection looks bad, and the bad character connection looks good. What I'm hoping is we might get Evil Lyn Starscream, but I'm not holding my breath for that. Prime 1 Studios, though. Look at this Devastator they got going on. This thing looks amazing. And I didn't even realize this. Look at his gun. I know that that's Devastator's normal gun, but the fact that there's silver at the end, it kind of looks like Tank Megatron outstretched. Kind of like the gun mode he has in Skybound. In any case, I think this is a really cool statue. It's also going to be like $1,000, I bet. $1,000. It's going to be like $5,000. Yellow Park is showing off the Revenge of the Fallen Megatron. He looks amazing and incredible, and I want him so badly because this is my favorite of the Bayverse Megatron designs. Also, they start showing off some of the other kits they're doing. We have a Blackout coming out, IDW Optimus, and they're doing Rise of the Beast RC. All three of them look really cool. Also, I didn't even know that they were getting into Beast Wars, but check this out. We already knew about Megatron, but now we got Primal and Black Arachnia in the back. I couldn't get any better photos of her, but she looks great. And then Dinobot. Dinobot looks amazing. Just, that might be the best Dinobot toy when that comes out. I can't wait. That's going to be such a good Dinobot. Also, we got more of the AMK minis coming out. New ones revealed are Primal, Grimlock, and Nickel. Nickel to go alongside their Tarn. God, it looks so good. I need a Nickel. I've been wanting a Nickel. That Nickel is going to be everything I need, I think. And then just more, they're doing a Megatron from Bumblebee movie in the AMK mini line. I'm sorry, guys, I can't speak today. But, looks solid. Not my favorite Megatron design. Check this out, though. Kurakari Curry Cyclonus. IDW Cyclonus. This thing's going to be like $500, but my god, is it going to be worth it. That thing looks sick. Also, Flame Toys is still doing model kits. So we're getting Galva Convoy. This is just a repaint of their Leo Convoy, but it looks good. Banzaitron and Bludgeon look incredible. Harold, I know you've been begging for Banzaitron. I bet you're glad I waited, because otherwise we would have missed out on talking about this Banzaitron. And this might be my favorite one ever. I can't wait to get this guy in hand. And then there's this one. So, I want to say this. For anyone who doesn't know Black Arachnia, her character model in the Beast Wars cartoon is based off in a stripper that the mainframe team went to watch. Like, I know that sounds insane, but literally the cartoon animators just went to a strip club and saw someone and were like, we're going to make Black Arachnia look like her. So, Black Arachnia is always going to have that type of energy infused into her character design. I get that. Flame Toys, they do love a bit of gooning, so I shouldn't be as surprised as I am. Those are literal just spider titties. They gave her nipples for some reason. I'm sure someone's into this, and if you're into this, I'm worried. I don't want to shake your hand. If you do shake my hand, I'm going to need you to sanitize real quick because I don't want to touch you. Jesus fucking Christ. That's what we got now. That's what we got. Okay, this is kind of cool though. Before we get into the official toy reveals, there's a new fan vote coming. And I was excited because I was like, oh god, this is 10 years after Victorion. Are we going to make a new character? That's not what this is. Activate your alt mode is going to give us a pre-existing character in a new alt mode. So this picture here, they have Megatron, Soundwave, and I thought Slipstream. Now that I'm looking at it, I think that's the Evergreen Starscream design. So round 1 character, they're going to give us 4 Autobots and 4 Decepticons to choose from. So if I had to guess who the 4 on each side are going to be, it's going to be Megatron, Soundwave, Starscream, Shockwave. And then on the other side, it's going to be Optimus, Bumblebee, maybe Grimlock RC. That's what makes sense to me. If not Grimlock RC, then maybe Grimlock Sideswipe, because Sideswipe is an industry plant. After that, whichever one of those characters wins the first poll is going to have an alt mode category. I'm going to assume alt mode category is going to be like Beast, Plane, Boat, Ground Vehicle. And then round 3 is going to be more specific. So like, maybe in round 2 you could choose Beast, and then round 3 would be like, okay, well, is it a cheetah, a lion, a gorilla, a dinosaur? Or round 2 would be like car. Round 3 would be like ambulance, semi-truck. You know, it's going to be very broad in round 2, and then round 3 will get specific. I still think this is interesting. I was really hoping it was going to be a new character, because Windblade is one of my favorite Transformers characters, and I always think it's really fun, the idea of, like, the fandom gets to design a character. This is the less interesting to me, but also, who knows, maybe we'll get something really cool. My hope of Cadillac Megatron very well might happen. You know what? Yeah. Attention, Ron Bondajon Nation. I need you all to go get Megatron through round 1, and then we need to make him a Cadillac. I hereby call upon the powers of the Ron Bondajon posse. Go and get me my Cadillac Megatron. It's interesting. I definitely want to see like how this turns out, but I was hoping it was going to be a new character. And now we got to talk about the official reveals. This is one that breaks my heart because it's a character that I actually was interested in, and they're giving me mini-cons. Nemesis Prime. He's just off for me. Not awful, just off. So the colors are kind of accurate. In the actual anime, he's a bit darker than this. This is a little bit too Nightwatch Optimus in terms of colors. Also, they didn't do the head right. So they gave him the mangled faceplate, but the mangled faceplate didn't look like that. We should have wires hanging down. There should only be one eye left. And there is no normal faceplate. So you can't have just like an undamaged Nemesis, even though he only looked like this for a few seconds. On top of that, he never used the Star Saber. He did use the Dark Star Saber, but not the Star Saber. On top of that, this Nemesis Prime does not come with the trailer. This is a remold of the core robot of the Commander Class Armada Optimus. And just so we're clear, that toy is amazing. That's one of my favorite toys of the last few years. It is probably the best toy version of Armada Optimus ever. But the fact that there's no trailer here, and the fact that the Star Saber's here, the fact that the faceplate is wrong, and on top of all of that, the price point, this is a $75 toy. That's really hard for me to swallow. And don't get me wrong, the Commander Class Optimus toy, I think, is $95. So this is $20 less. But I'd also point out, for $20 more, you're going to be getting the trailer. And I think the trailer, the super mode, and all the extra playability, I think that matters a ton. Because that means that Nemesis has engineering that you can't utilize. Like, he will still have the transformation for the torso of Optimus' super mode, but no trailer to go with. And then you get the Star Saber. The Star Saber looks good. I want mini-cons, but these guys are simple. You know, they're basically just the Micromasters that we were getting with Siege, which I'm not complaining because I like those Micromasters, and these mini-cons look really, really good, and I want new mini-cons. I just don't see what the value here is. Like, if we were to say, let's be really generous, right? Let's say that Nemesis is leader price point. Okay, well, leaders right now are like $55. That means that these mini-cons are $20. And that's without getting into shipping and handling and the Pulse tax and everything else. And when I say Pulse tax, I mean Pulse will just like hit you with some like handling and services charges. This is going to wind up being $90. And there's nothing here. I hate it because I should be so excited that we're finally getting the mini cons specifically. That's what I want out of this, is I just want the Star Saber. And Nemesis would have been a nice addition. And if Nemesis had been 65, sure. Let me rephrase that. Had he been 65 on a thing like Amazon or Target or Walmart, fine. The fact that it's going to be 75 on Hasbro Pulse, and I know they're going to hit me with another $10, and then there's also going to be shipping on top of that. This is just way too much for what this Nemesis is. I hate to be a downer. I hope that I'm not ruining anyone's hopes for this Nemesis. He's going to be a PulseCon exclusive. But just like the PulseCon exclusive Hot Shot before him, he's going to be essentially twice the price of what he should be. And Hasbro's going to say, yeah, but we threw mini-cons in. That's just not enough. Like, the Hot Shot is a little bit worse for me because he was like more expensive than a Voyager. And it was just for the sake of getting 2 guns and Jolt. At least here, the Star Saber is important, and you're getting 3 mini-cons. But it's still too much. If it were 115 and we got the trailer, somehow that actually makes more sense to me. I'd be happier spending more money to get the full playability of this Prime than spending this much, which is still a lot, while knowing that this Prime does not have the full playability, and the Star Saber mini-cons are going to be really simple. But that's just me. Now let's get on to some other reveals. Sure Shot. As soon as he came on screen, everyone in the stream I was in started freaking out. Why do so many people give a shit about Sure Shot all of a sudden? I say that, I know, it's because he's the last Autobot Target Master, and you know what? If I was just that enamored with Crosshairs or Point Blank, sure, there's nothing here for me. The toy looks fine. You know, G1 Sure Shot is a good G1 toy. But nothing. I have no feelings about Sure Shot. But I'm glad he's here. Blast Off is cool. I'm hoping the brown is going to be a little bit less dark here, because right now it's kind of blending into some of the gray. What I really hope is I want to get one of the aerial bots. Specifically, I want to get Fireflight repainted into Blast Off. I hope that maybe as an exclusive, we're going to get a 2-pack that's like going to turn Vortex into Alpha Bravo and give us Jet Blast Off, because I really do prefer Jet Blast Off. I'm glad we're getting a Blast Off of any kind, because Blast Off is probably my favorite Combaticon. But I do prefer the Jet. But even still, this looks good. It's a good looking robot. He's honestly looking better than Vortex, and Vortex was already a pretty solid toy. So it's a really good version of a character that I like. It's just not the version I want. I'm hoping we get Jet Blast Off at some point. Junkion Jalopy. Again, people were losing their minds over Jalopy. Nothing here for me. Like, I know it's like axle grease, and there's things to this that make him unique, but like, we've already had a Junkion using this mold, and he wasn't that good the first time. Even if the cosmetics are different, this is still just not that good a toy. But, you know, someone out there's going to be excited for Jalopy. More power to you. Barricade looks real bad. The car mode looks, I don't know. The car mode just does nothing for me. And then the robot mode, it's like the head isn't right. The eyes look kind of bad. The gun, look at the gun. Look at where his hand is, how he holds the gun, and then look where the trigger is. That's actually just bad. That looks so rough. If you want a good barricade of this design, get the Authentics barricade. And if you want one that's better articulated, get the Last Night barricade, because he comes with better accessories and he looks a little bit more interesting. And also, he still had his knuckle dusters. Look, he doesn't have his brass knucks here. He has like something hanging off his arm that looks like a little bit of arm kibble. I guess that's supposed to be taking the place of his knuckle dusters, but the knuckle dusters aren't actually here. And of course, even if he had the knuckle dusters, it wouldn't have Punish and Enslave, because the Policemen's Union got really mad last time. So, I don't know. Nothing about this barricade is cool to me, but if you want it, you want it. People are going to hate me for saying this. Windcharger, I think, is one of the worst looking out of all the reveals. He looks too weedy. Look at his legs, too. Like, his lower legs are going to be super hollow. He's going to have the weird SS-86 Bumblebee heel articulation where it's actually, like, halfway down his leg. The proportions are way too puffy. He looks like Popeye with massive arms and a super tiny midsection. The carb mode looks fine. I do like that they remembered to give him the really big tires in the back. That's funny. Also, I'm going to say it, SS-86 Windcharger, this should have just been a corpse. He wasn't alive in the movie. He was only there in the background dead. So he should have been just dead here. But for people who've been waiting for Windcharger, maybe just stick with the Power of the Prime's Windcharger. Even if you've been waiting. The better Windchargers have already come and gone, I'm afraid. But, who knows, people might be into this. Wreck-Gar is getting everyone's hate, and I kind of get it because I do think the body looks really rough. But the head looks so good, I can kind of get past it. This isn't going to be like an all-timer Wreck-Gar, but there were so many people who were immediately dumping all over this Wreck-Gar. The head alone, I think, makes it better than Windcharger. And, like, this is not going to be a standout toy, but at least it's going to be, like, a Voyager with good proportions, decent articulation, and good accessories. It's not the worst thing ever. He's getting overhated right now. I think he's just going to be a solid toy when he comes out. Alpha Trion legitimately is good, though. Like, I am so amazed to see all of the details on him. He needs a cape, but I can just take a cape off some discount Star Wars The Black Series figure. Overall, this is such a nice looking toy. I love his weapon. I like that they remembered the mold and the grime all over him. Good looking Alpha Trion. Honestly, better looking than the Power of the Prime's Alpha Trion. I think this is such a better look for him. Razor Claw is someone who I was so excited for. And when he first showed up on stream, I was like, wow! And then I looked at what my original Razor Claw looked like, and in the same stream, I was like, actually, they butchered his colors. Like, he's way too gray here. He should have a lot more black and a lot more purple. I'm probably going to skip on this guy. I'm not going to lie, I was really excited for Razor Claw, but this... Yeah, the original is just better in terms of color for me. Big Convoy is really cool looking, though. I have very little connection to the character, but his robot mode is really well done, and I love the mammoth mode. Look at how expressive the mammoth is. He looks like Manny from Ice Age. And you get so much articulation, the tusks and the trunk and the ears are going to articulate. Granted, the legs aren't going to do shit, but like you can at least get some expression out of the head, which I think is really nice. This guy, again, people were like, oh man, I can't believe we're getting TF5 Nemesis. It's like, okay, he has new forearms, slightly different paint on his head, and then gunmetal silver in the body. By the way, they got the details wrong. He has an Autobot insignia on his truck, which I joked on the stream, it's because you only saw the truck mode after he had already gone good again. That might be their justification, is that you never saw the truck mode while he was Nemesis Prime. In any case, I didn't like this toy the first time. I don't like it anymore the second time. It's going to be more expensive because prices are going up. So, I mean, if you want it, I guess. And then we also got the reveal of Titan Grimlock. So from now on, we're going to alternate. Titan will be Generations one year and then Studio Series the next. This is just a way to give a more accurate Grimlock in terms of scale. There was a lot of arguments as to if the other Dinobots are all going to be Titan class. I don't think they're going to be. Strafe and Slug could definitely be Commander class. Scorn's the only one I think who could be Titan, but then I think Hasbro's going to say who the hell is going to spend that much on Scorn. I don't know. This Grimlock looks a little bit less interesting than the original Studio Series Grimlock to me. His jaw can't fully close, and I've never liked this design. If you're excited for it, I'm glad. I hate how much I'm saying this. God, I am so sorry. I'm being so negative. It's because all the ones I'm really excited for, I was going to save towards the end, so all the ones that are kind of nothing for me are all back-to-back. But, like, you know, there's something here, just not for me, especially not for Titan money. Onslaught's really cool. So this is just a render. He's not even prototyped yet. But I am glad that we have an idea as to what Onslaught's going to look like, which turns out he's just going to look like Onslaught. Here's where I'm going to be excited. Quintus Prime. Quintus looks amazing. I love the squid look to the spaceship. So what's really cool is they have yellow translucent legs, so it's kind of hidden in all the tentacles. This is the best I've ever seen them do the tentacle look for the Quintessons. Quintus is such a nice looking toy. It's one of the only primes I care about, so I'm happy Quintus looks good. Alongside that, as Dr. Lockdown shrieked like 14 times in a row, this is probably going to be a Botanica at some point. Especially in the upper body, there's a lot of Botanica. And also, if you reworked the squid, I think you could get the monster plant really easily. So I'm hoping this will be a Botanica at some point. Arachnid looks so good. There's not much to add. I've already talked about Arachnid a lot when we saw the prototype. But now that we've seen Arachnid in the proper colors, yeah, she looks really, really good. And I can't wait for this toy. The fact that this is going to be a deluxe is insane to me. There's so much going on here. What a good looking... Transformers 1, say what you will, it's had a pretty good run in Studio Series. Like, the weakest figure is the Optimus, and the Optimus is still pretty good. I can't wait for Arachnid. Brawl is looking perfect. So I said in my Many Toys of Brawl, Brawl is always the weak link of the team, it feels like. Here, he feels good and solid and sturdy. This is what I want out of Brawl. They remember little details like the Decepticon logo on his forearm. His proportions look so nice. The tank mode looks beautiful. It looks like we're going to be able to rotate the turret, which is awesome. And even better, look towards his belly button. There's a screw to the left of center. That means that his waist is probably also going to house the ankle rocker for Bruticus. I can't wait for this toy. I think it's going to be one of the better Combaticons. And then this. So now we're getting into who I think are the winners of SDCC. Starting with Thundercracker. Thundercracker looks amazing. And again, there's a lot of confusion on stream because we had 10 people all screaming out at once. This is not the Earthrise Seeker. It's going to have some similar transformation engineering, but all the surface detail is different. Even some of the internal mechanisms are different. Some of the articulation is different. This Thundercracker has a fully featured waist. It looks like he's going to have a little bit of a diaphragm joint. He might have drop-down hips. Just looking at some of the prototypes, it looks like his hips are going to be able to kind of come out from underneath the crotch plate. The jet looks great. The colors are good. And the reason why this Thundercracker, I love it so much, so many people have told me, God, I hope we get new Seekers because the Earthrise Seekers are so expensive. I hope that this guy is plentiful. I hope that all of you guys who missed out on Seekers are able to get Thundercracker and Skywarp easily. And I'm going to say it, I think they look better than the Earthrise Seekers. So I think you're getting the better Seekers too. Also, wrist articulation, which is nice, and we don't see it on a lot of Transformers right now. I also just wanted to show off this prototype. Look at that back. The tail fins are going to come up onto the back as opposed to staying on the legs. And even more interesting to me, look at how much they folded in the cockpit, or the nose of the cockpit. So I'm really excited to see the transformation. Moreover, these prototype colors are really nice. Like, this is essentially how I think Pterosaur would have looked on Cybertron. I kind of want to see this toy come out in these colors. Give me prototype color Thundercracker. I would buy it. These colors look really, really good. Amalgamus Prime is going to be sick. And what's even cooler is that you can rip him into pieces. He's going to be a weaponizer. So he's just a big accessory pack, essentially. I love his shockwave head. I love his weird pickaxe. It's going to be a cool looking toy. I cannot wait to see this fully realized. And finally, this is the winner of SDCC for me. This is the toy I want the most. It's QUICKSTRIKE. And I made the joke on the stream. It looks like they more or less just brought over the original QUICKSTRIKE toy. QUICKSTRIKE, for whatever reason, is one of the most accurate animation models to the toy. Probably because the toy was so good. Here it is different. So a lot less translucent plastic. The proportions are fixed. And the snake head isn't as big. But overall, this toy just looks incredible. I can't wait to get him. It's going to be a good quick strike. And hey, I know that there's a certain someone who has been begging for the mini toys of Quick Strike. I bet you're glad that I waited, because now I'm going to be able to talk about 2 toys and not just one. Quick Strike is the winner of San Diego Comic-Con for me. I think that this is the best looking out of all the Transformers. It's the one I'm most excited for. It's the character I like the most out of everyone that was revealed. It's the character that I need the most because I don't have a Quick Strike in my collection right now and it drives me crazy because I like Quick Strike. I'm really excited for this toy. This is a leaked listing. Supposedly we found a listing for a second Commander class figure and it's going to be Armada Jetfire. Take it with a grain of salt. The reason I have it here at the end is just because we don't even know for sure if it's real or not, but I'm hoping it is, because I would love an update to Armada Jetfire. If Armada Jetfire had been revealed today, I would have put him right here alongside Quick Strike anyways, but for the time being, Quick Strike is the winner of SDCC. But there's other things I thought were cool. So these are not going to be full breakdowns of other toy lines or what other companies showed. These are just small things that I saw other companies put out that I thought were interesting and I want to talk about with you guys. So, Mattel first, they are going to do 2000X designs in Masterverse. I don't really care for most of He-Man. I'm more of a She-Ra person, but I love 2000X, and specifically Skeletor and Evil Lyn are some of my favorite characters. I think these toys look good. Evil Lyn looks great, but Skeletor needs a cape. Skeletor always wore a cape in the show. I don't know why they're going toy accurate with him. I just realized they're also giving him the toy accurate sword. No. I wanted an animation accurate 2000X Skeletor. This isn't quite that, but it still looks good. Evil Lyn just looks amazing though. Jazzwares with their Five Nights at Freddy's toys. These guys are actually coming out. I've not seen them anywhere, so I'm just talking about them now. I'm really glad that they started with the toys and the Wizards. I know it's probably because FNAF 2 is coming out in October. The Wizards are my favorite group of animatronics, I think, and I really like the toys as well. Just looking at this lineup here, they're so much better articulated than the Funko guys. And due to how the toys are made, they're going to last longer too. They're going to be more durable figures. Funko never did the toys. So this is a great first wave to finally give us characters that we've been wanting. I don't need Toy Freddy. I don't think I need Toy Chica. I would like Toy Bonnie, but the one I need is Mangle. I need Mangle. And my favorite thing about Mangle is, look, you're going to be able to switch around the limbs to make your own horrible monstrosity. Alongside that, they showed off a withered Freddy. The way they're going to do the Wizards is you're going to have the endoskeleton and snap-on pieces, so you can either do the FNAF 1 design or the Withered design. Freddy looked good. The one I want is Withered Bonnie, and I know they've showed him off before, but I've not seen him since then. So Withered Bonnie and Mangle are the Jazzwares FNAF figures that I really need to track down. Keeping with Jazzwares, they showed off a Pokemon figure. I really would like a Glade. Glade is such a good design, and he never gets good toys, but an articulated action figure, this is going to be pretty solid. Going to a different toy company now, Playmates is doing a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles X Godzilla crossover, and I like these a lot. Obviously, there's no character correlation. Like, Michelangelo is not King Ghidorah. I don't know what the hell you're smoking, but the toys do look really good, and also, I'm fine with it because it does kind of color coordinate. There's no Donatello in this set, and also, just going to point this out, no Mothra. There's also no Mechagodzilla. So, if we were going to say, like, the big 5 Toho monsters, we're missing a Mechagodzilla and a Mothra. I'm just saying, I could see April being Mothra and Donnie being Mechagodzilla and maybe a Wave 2. I'm really hoping, because it'd be weird to only have 3 of the Ninja Turtles, but Godzilla, Rodan, King Ghidorah, it's a good 3. Out of these, I think the best looking one is that Michelangelo King Ghidorah. I do like the Raphael Rodan. And then Leonardo Godzilla, it's probably the weakest looking one, but, you know, at least they got his thighs right. Also, they're doing a reissue of the Shin Godzilla Monster Arts figure, which I think looks pretty cool, and I might get it because I like Shin Godzilla's design a lot. Speaking of Figuarts, they're doing Scarlet Spider from the Spider-Verse. Ben Reilly is my favorite design for Spider-Man. I love the Scarlet Spider, and I would absolutely pick this up. I love how the cell shading looks. I know that, like, in the movie, he's just a joke character, and it's not at all how Ben acts, but screw it, it's a good Ben toy. I want it. McFarlane is finally showing off their Mortal Kombat figures. I'm kind of disappointed. I don't know what I was expecting, but it just kind of looks like more of the Mortal Kombat 11 figures with some new aesthetics. Liu Kang looks really rough. Scorpion and Sub-Zero look bad. At least Katana looks good. And they're supposed to still do Melina, so I'm holding out hope that I'm finally going to get a decent Melina toy. But until that happens, this is all we saw from the McFarlane Mortal Kombat line. Switching over to Hasbro again. They're doing more of the X-Men 97 figures, and I had to show off this 2-pack of Gambit and Rogue playing basketball because I think this is hilarious. Absolutely, this is great. Also, Gambit has no nipples. Oh, that's weird. I don't care about the 2-pack of Cyclops and Jean. What I want to point out is the Wolverine looks really, really good. I would probably go for that just because, hey, Wolverine in his street clothes is really funny to me. And now we gotta talk about real stuff. So if you don't want to talk about real stuff, hop off now. But I gotta bring it up because it does affect the hobby, specifically in Transformers. SDCC was pretty cool. I had a lot of fun with it. I hope you guys did too. Let me know what you would like to pick up in the comments below. But I'm giving you 5 seconds to click off if you don't want to talk about real world stuff, okay? 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi. You should have clicked off by now. So, usually I would have a photo, especially because I know this was announced on Truth Social, but for the life of me, I couldn't find it anywhere. And I was going to news sources. There were people who were linking to it, but the links were going to, like, dead pages. But there is a new 15% flat tariff that Japan will have. So, essentially, anything imported into the U.S. from Japan will have a 15% tariff. Now, according to the administration, Japan will be able to choose where that money, or rather, the administration will be able to choose where Japan puts that money. But there's been no word about it since then. And granted, it's been buried under a lot of other news because some very big stuff happening this week. But the fact that I can no longer get to any of the pages from Truth Social where the administration was announcing this makes me wonder if this fell through, maybe? At the same time, maybe they just deleted the post and they re-upped the post. I just can't find it anywhere anymore. I can't even find photos of it, which is weird because the administration is usually pretty good at protecting PDF files. But, you know, I guess that's just not going to be the case with this. We just should know 15% tariff. What that means is anything coming in from Japan is going to have 15% on top of that. We don't import much from Japan, but the stuff we do is going to be things like cars, which is going to be rough. But, hey, that's the real world news this week. And like I said, the reason why you probably haven't heard of this is because a lot of much worse stuff is going on. But we're going to have to wait and see how that turns out. And when it does turn out, it's not going to be discussed on a thing like a Transformers news channel. Alright, let's knock it out real quick. What's coming up? What's coming out? Stupid Sexy Hot Rod comes out on Wednesday. So this is going to be me ranking the Season 3 Autobots by how they be as partners. I had so much fun with this video. Shardik did a great job at making me a Rodimus to put on this thumbnail. Please go check that out. It's a Cybertronian ranking. Those are the videos that I really, really like doing. So I'm hoping that you guys will enjoy it as much as I enjoyed it. And then also, Many Toys of Power Glide will be coming out on Friday. This art was done by Power Glide 1985. Thank you so much for it, because I do think it's a pretty cute art style. But you can see some big stuff coming out this week. And alongside that, guys, I'm not going to go through my producers just because we have to talk about the real world stuff, but I want you to know that I am thankful for all of you, and we don't really know what the plan is going to be for right now, but after Friday, hopefully we're going to start working on the 11,000 subscriber special of the Many Toys of Grimlock. That will be out by the end of this month. You have my word for it. But on that note, guys, we'll have to see what we get up to next time.